Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Monday Lunchtime Digest for October 20th, 2025. Happy Monday, Haley.
Happy Monday, Micah.
Hey, we have a lot to talk about today on this very windy fall day. You can kind of hear the wind in the background here at my office. Uh, and so, just talking about some of the things that we have to share. First of all, in the um, OSU, KOSU website reported today that the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health is requesting 79.5 million from the Oklahoma legislature. And so this is to cover Medicaid matching costs for the physical next year, and then technology upgrades. 17 million is going to implement the court ordered improvements to the competency restoration process. And if you remember right, Oklahoma was sued for not providing the competency restoration services in a timely manner. So 17 million is going toward that. Unfortunately, none of it is going toward any of the services that were cut. Contracts were cut or completely eliminated. With, I think, what was it, Haley? Something like 300, I think.
Yeah,
Providers.
about 300 of the 500 contracts were not renewed.
Yeah. So as you see that $79.5 million amount being thrown around, at least KOSU is not reporting that any of that is going toward any of those services that were cut or eliminated. And I know, Haley, you've heard about some of the ones that have been cut.
Yes, and so Parents Helping Parents recently posted on their social media that they only have about 2 months worth of funding. And so, as we know, Parents Helping Parents is an integral part of the substance abuse uh, assistance community. They provide a lot of resources, a lot of trainings, a lot of support for parents who have children that are experiencing addiction, whether that's young children or adult children. And so they are doing a lot of fundraising right now to try to keep their doors open. I know that OCARTA took a big hit. The Evolution Foundation, which oversees a lot of the mental health coalitions in rural Oklahoma, has also lost funding and is expected to close their doors at the end of the month. And so a lot of these programs, even though they don't provide direct services such as counseling, they still are an important part of the substance abuse community because, the old adage is what community is the opposite of addiction. And we need these community partners to help our folks in recovery as well as help those loved ones as well. And so it's just really disheartening to see that even though the ODMH is requesting more funding, that it doesn't necessarily mean that these contracts are going to be fulfilled again.
Right, right. And so we will be keeping an eye on that to find out more about what's going on at the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health. And so, Haley, you have some news and research for us.
Yes, and so this is a study that came out of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. So it actually was a meta analysis that examined 8 large studies over a 20-year period on the medication called finasteride. And so, if you're not familiar with finasteride, it is a treatment medication for male pattern baldness. And so it's been prescribed for about 25 years or so. But according to this research, there has been a long-standing relationship between the prescription of finasteride and depression and suicidal thoughts and actions by those it's prescribed for. And so, according to this study, this has been known, and the FDA has actually known about this relationship since as early as 2002. However, the FDA did not put a label on finasteride for depression until 2011 and didn't put the black box warning for suicidal ideation until 2022. And what the researchers have suggested is that even though this relationship is known, there hasn't been enough done in the marketing side of things as well as in the physician's education side of things to let them know, say, hey, this is a potential side effect of this drug. And of course, every time we watch those drug commercials, there's that long spewing sentence at the end of potential side effects. But the researchers said that they don't believe that enough information is out there, not only for consumers, but also for medical providers. And I looked up on the Cleveland Clinic earlier just to see what the Cleveland Clinic said about finasteride. And it also did not list this significant relationship between the prescription of the medication and the increased risk of depression and suicidal ideation. And so this is really scary and fascinating because, this is a commonly prescribed medication, but it's also, again, I know they preach this all the time, a good reminder for us clinicians to be up to date on what medications our clients are being prescribed, whether or not they are necessarily prescribed for mental health. I think I've told this story before. If I've had, folks who've been prescribed a certain allergy medicine and suddenly they have panic attacks out of nowhere and they have never had panic attacks before in their life. And I'm scratching my head thinking, what in the world is going on? Why is this person with, this disorder or this diagnosis all of a sudden have criteria for panic disorder? And it turns out it was the medication that was leading to those side effects, and it wasn't a psychoactive medication. So again, I think it's just a good reminder for us to stay up to date on what medications our clients are on, and also just to stay up to date on some of the research, especially when big things like this come out, because that's not something that I would have thought about, that a medication that's used to treat male pattern baldness would have anything to do with depression. But according to the research, how it is broken down in the body, how it stops testosterone from being processed in a certain way, which prevents the male pattern baldness. It also has an effect on some of the neurosteroids that lead to mood regulation. And so it's really, again, fascinating and scary, but also I think, again, a good reminder for us clinicians to stay up to date on those medications our clients have.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, there's a lot of these medications that have mental health effects for some people. And so I know for us at Edmond Counseling, one of the things on our questionnaire was, when was your last physical exam? And so some people have had it fairly recently, some people not. So when people come in, they say they're dealing with depression, anxiety, encourage them to talk with their physician about it. And it's not necessarily for them to get on medication for depression or anxiety. I mean, if they want to do that, obviously they can, but also just have their physician look at their medication to make sure that they're not on something, recently started something like this one that you mentioned that may be contributing to depression, or have some other condition like a thyroid disorder, anything else that may be contributing to depression. So whenever we recommend that they talk to their physician, it's not just to start some type of antidepressant or something. It's to rule out everything else that may be contributing to it as well.
Absolutely. It's like you said, thyroid. I've had folks who've had thyroid conditions that have contributed to depression. I had one individual who, after their vitamin panel, had low vitamin D. And once their vitamin D was elevated again after 2 weeks of vitamin D supplement, they no longer met criteria for depressive disorder. There's so many things that can contribute to mental health. And so again, it's a good reminder to look at the holistic treatment when we're working with our folks.
Definitely. Definitely. So, Hayley, what's going on at the Oklahoma Counseling Institute?
So as always, we have a lot of exciting things, and a lot of exciting things happening at my house right now because the house next door is getting its roof replaced. So please excuse the banging around, my friends. But when it comes to the Oklahoma Counseling Institute, of course, we have a lot of exciting things coming up. So first of all, on Wednesday, November 5th, from 5:30 p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m., we're going to have our next Whimsical Wednesdays. And so this month's Whimsical Wednesdays will take place at Perette's Coffee and Desserts at 701 West Sheridan Avenue in OKC. It is personally one of my favorite places to go hang out. It's open. It's a late night coffee and dessert bar. They have some delicious desserts for vegans, gluten-free, non-vegans, meatitarians, I'm sure too. Micah will have their pick of snacks and desserts. But it is a really cool location. Just come hang out with us. We're going to play a game to win some free CEUs, but most of all, we're just going to take some time, relax, connect with fellow professionals, and have a good time while eating some yummy desserts.
Man, that looks amazing. I'm already excited. So that is coming up here the first Wednesday of November. And so we will be excited to see everyone there. And plus, we play a game and people have a chance to win free continuing education.
Yes, and so come prepared to play, but also just come prepared to relax and hang out. But
Great.
that's what's going on November 5th. So that's 2 weeks from this Wednesday. But that same week, we also have upcoming webinars. And so if you go to counselinginstitute.org, you can find the entire list of our upcoming webinars. But on Saturday, November 8th in particular, we have 2 great trainings. In the morning, we have Dr. Iva Graywolf, who will be talking about culturally appropriate interventions when working with Native American, Alaskan Native clients. It's called Opening the Bentwood Box. And Dr. Graywolf actually headed the APA's task force on missing and murdered Indigenous women. And so she brings with her about 30 years of research and clinical experience, as well as the knowledge of that it took to oversee that task force. And so we're really honored and excited to have Dr. Gray Wolf come present with us. In the afternoon, we have Dr. David Pfaff. If you have gone to our Summer Super Summit last year, you probably have seen Dr. Pfaff. He is doing a 3-hour edition of the training he did for us back at the Summer Super Summit. He's doing a 3-hour substance abuse specific training on addiction counseling through an ACT lens. And so if you are interested in learning more about acceptance and commitment therapy or ACT, or you just need those addiction counseling specific hours, do we have the training for you? Again, those will be 2 weeks from Saturday, November 8th. You can find those again at counselinginstitute.org. You can also find all the registration information for our winter webinar weekend. So our winter webinar weekend is an annual event. It is 3 days, 6 trainings, 18 hours of CEs. We have 3 hours of ethics, 3 hours of supervision, 3 hours of addiction counseling specific. We have strength-based, we have general, and much, much more. And so our 18 hours of CEs will have, I'm really excited for Rabbi Shlomo Slatkin will be doing 6 hours of training for you LMFT folks on Thursday. In the morning, he's going to be doing a 3-hour training on how to help clients navigate infidelity in counseling and couples counseling. And in the afternoon, he'll be doing a 3-hour ethics training on couples counseling. And so we're going to kick it off with Rabbi Shlomo Slatkin. We have 4 more trainings after that. We'll have CBT for psychosis. We'll have helping clients to draw strength through their racial identity. We'll have navigating conflict and clinical supervision. We'll have an trauma-informed substance abuse counseling training. And folks, we have not only 6 great trainings coming up, but we also have a new package this year. And so if you are wanting to get all 18 hours of CEs, if you become a member, you can join and register for our winter webinar package and save over $150 on registration. You get all 18 CEs for, I think the math was $178. And so get your 10 hours plus of live CEs, get your ethics, get your supervision, and just have a great time with us at the Counseling Institute, with the Counseling Institute. So go to counselinginstitute.org to find that registration and see the full lineup today.
That is fantastic. And I think, as everyone knows, all these are approved by all the different Oklahoma boards. They meet criteria for Oklahoma LPCs, LMFTs, LADCs, and LCSW. So all of those trainings meet approval. And then we're also an MBCC provider, which is the National Board of Certified Counselors. And so if you happen to have a license from another state or have a friend or colleague that is licensed in another state, have them check with their board to see if they accept NBCC continuing education. And if so, then send them our way and we'll be able to provide their continuing education as well.
Absolutely. And on top of all of those live trainings, we also have a huge on-demand catalog with new trainings being added each week. Another one was added last week. Another one will be added this week. And so I think we're up to over 250 hours of on-demand continuing education, also approved by all the Oklahoma boards. Some courses are also approved by the MBCC. Reach out to me, hello@edmondcounseling.com, or shoot me a text, 405-440-3034, and I'd be happy to share any of our upcoming trainings or on-demand catalog with you.
Great. And of course, we have a lot going on at Edmond Counseling and Professional Development as well. And so we are really excited to welcome Kelsey Sweger, which is our newest counselor. And so she is an LMFT LADC. And so we are happy to welcome her. She is doing online only. And so if you have somebody that prefers online just due to their schedule or maybe where they live in the state, it's just too difficult to try to come in and do an in-person counseling, then certainly send them our way. Kelsey is accepting new clients. We also have Jimmy Leverett that's accepting clients, and then Amanda Beck is accepting clients as well. And so Jimmy and Amanda are in person and online. Also, just as a reminder, we do our career assessments. And so if you have somebody who's over the age of 18, either a client or a family member that's not quite sure about the direction to go in their life, then you can send them our way and we do a career assessment. It's evidence-based, looking at what their interests are and what careers most closely aligned to those things. It's a 2-session process. So feel free to send them our way. Also, of course, we have Smart Recovery, which is an alternative to 12-step. And so if you have somebody that 12-step's just not a fit for them, Smart Recovery is based off of cognitive behavior therapy. And we do a free Smart Recovery group on Thursdays from 6 o'clock to 7:30. And then on Wednesdays, we do our Smart Family and Friends, which is for people that have a loved one that's dealing with substance abuse or process addiction, such as gambling or pornography. Then we have the Smart Family and Friends group. And so that is on Wednesdays from 6 to 7:15, 7:30. And you can find out more about it at smartedmond.com. And then we're also really excited to have coming up on November 11th our free chronic pain support group. And so that is being started, and that is going to be facilitated by Amanda Beck. So it will be hybrid as well. So it can attend in person or online. That's going to be on Tuesdays from 6:45 to 8 p.m. And again, that's free. So there's nothing to do except show up. So there's no type of intake or anything else. That's true with all of our groups, Smart Family and Friends as well. Nothing to do but just show up. So if you would like to, if you have a client or a family member that's dealing with chronic pain and would like to find a place that is supportive, receive support, give support, and then also just learn new ways to practice improving their own well-being, then certainly send them our way to the chronic pain support group starting November 11th. And you can learn more about that at edmondcounseling.com / or / what is that? / pain. And you can learn more about that.
As an Amanda Beck comes with many years of experience working with folks with chronic pain. She has extensive training in CBT for chronic pain and is very well informed on the up-to-date literature on what is effective. And so I think that she's the best. I know Mike is not paying me to say this, but I think she's the best person to be running this group.
Yeah, and we're really excited that she is willing and able to do that. So that will be starting November 11th.
Perfect.
So Hayley, who is our winner for today?
So our winner for today is Monica Pacheco. Yay, Monica.
Monica, congratulations. So what did Monica win?
So Monica has won a free on-demand course with the Oklahoma Counseling Institute. So Monica, send me an email, shoot me a text, hello@edmondcounseling.com, 405-440-3034. Let me know which on-demand course you would like. And if you would like to be like Monica and be entered into next week's drawing, you can do one of three or all three things. You can like this post, you can share this post, or you can comment your answer to today's question. Anytime you do one of those three things, not only do you help us grow, you help us be seen by others, but you also get entered into the drawing for next week's prize. So that being said, our question for this week is, what is your favorite Halloween activity? I stuck with the theme this month, Micah. I know it's just been me the last 2 weeks, but I get really excited for spooky season, so I've been asking folks what their favorite Halloween movie is, favorite Halloween candy. This week, what's your favorite Halloween activity? So, Micah, do you and Trinity have any traditions for Halloween?
Well, I don't know. As far as Halloween goes, I mean, going to a haunted house, that's always fun. And so, doing that. So, may have to kind of see about a haunted house. I'm not sure. But I think this can be maybe my plug for The Substance, which we watched over the weekend.
Oh, yes.
And so I found it really pretty profound, and it is classified as a horror movie. And it is, the last, 10, 15 minutes is pretty wild. I don't know. Have you seen it, Hayley?
I have seen it. Yes, a few times.
All right. So anyway, not one to watch with kiddos. Most likely, I don't think you'd want to watch it with your kiddos around, but that would be something if you want kind of a very profound, gory, scary movie, then that might be one to watch. So Hayley, how about you? What is your favorite activities?
Man, I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. Your activities are like haunted house, watch scary movie. Like, no, I don't want to be scared. I want to be spooked. I want spooky.
Oh, all right.
I think my favorite thing, so our tradition at our house is, because we're a child-free couple, we buy the full-size candy bars. And so I love being that house that gives away the full-size candy bars. And so my spouse and I are going to Walmart this weekend to stock up for next week. And I'm excited to give away the full-size candy bars next week.
And so everyone's going to be Googling your address and where you're at to get those full-size candy bars. So,
Hey, Mackenzie came a couple of years ago with her kiddos, and they were the last kids I saw that night. So they both got like 10 full-size candy bars.
oh
So,
man, nice. I did not know that.
yep.
Well, we hope everyone has a good week. And so as Haley already said, you answer that question. You like, share, comment if you don't celebrate Halloween or have any fall activities in particular. You can tell us that too. And anytime that you do those things, and you are entered to win free continuing education.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for your support. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Everyone have a good week, and we'll see you later.